The first place I'm going to go to set up to 3D print is the folder for Schoology. In that, it gives me a spot for downloading Solid Inspector 2. This is the name of the SketchUp extension that allows me to make sure that my model that I've created is 3D printable. Okay, and it's basically a full solid. When I click on it, it comes to here. I'll click on it again, and it'll download it, and I'll be able to see it down here if you're using Chrome. I've already downloaded it a few times, so I'm going to move on. From SketchUp, I'm going to go to Window, and I'm going to go to Extension Manager. Brings up a window like this. I already have the extension installed, but I can show you the steps. You're going to click on this red button here that says Install Extension. You're going to navigate yourself to the Downloads folder because that's where it's putting it. Okay? And select the extension. You're going to click Open, and you're going to see some messages while it installs. You'll then see Solid Inspector is installed. And it should also be enabled. So make sure that is the case. When you close that, you will likely find a one-button menu now floating around in your workspace that looks like this. It looks like a small globe with a red box on it. I prefer to actually take it and put it over here, but you can either leave it floating or move it to the side. If you have installed it and you don't see the one button, you can go to View and Toolbars and make sure that the Solid Inspector 2 toolbar is checkmarked. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually click this, and I'm going to have it tell me that there are no errors, everything is shiny. That is exactly what I'd like to see. Now there are some errors that you might need to fix. For example, if instead of pulling this hole, if I had simply deleted this to create a hollow space, when I go to check it, it's going to tell me that I have a surface border that is in error. Okay, sometimes you're able to fix those errors by clicking Fix All. This one won't let me. What I'm actually going to have to do is I'm going to have to grab my circle tool, find that center point, and draw it back in. Or for me, since I'm doing a video and you don't want to watch me do that, I'm just going to undo the fact that I deleted it, put that back in place, and now again everything is shiny. Okay, so there are a few things. If you see an error in here about nested instances, you don't need to worry about it. Okay, but if you see some errors that you need help fixing, you can always check with your teacher. Make sure that you have saved your work, and then you're going to go to File, and you're going to go to Export, and you're going to go to 3D Model. When you do that, make sure you're in your folder where you save your stuff. You're going to want to give it a name. So maybe Pocket Project, since that's the name of this one. And you want to make sure the Save As type is an STL file or stereolithography file. Again, .stl. That's what it needs to be. If it's any other type, it is wrong. Make sure it is an STL file. Okay? I am going to then export it. Make sure you're putting it in the right spot. Excuse me while I go up one level and into the proper folder. There we go. And I'll export it. The bar will fill up and that'll go away. The last part will be turning it in. Back over to Schoology. In the correct folder, the last thing is an upload your STL file here. When you click on it, it comes up with a Google form. You're going to mark your class period, enter your last and first name, decide which printer you would prefer for it to be printed on. The white printer, which has both a white casing and is loaded with white plastic, is a little bit finer detail. So if you have some small thin details, probably suggest using the white printer. The black and gray printer is a little bit faster, also does very good quality. If it truly does not matter to you, and really what you're picking is the end result color of your project, you can click Doesn't Matter, and I'll get you in the first available one where I have a slot where your project will fit. The last part of this will be, please upload your STL file here. Make sure when you click Add File that you go to Upload. You can click Select from your device, and then you can go where you need to go. I'm I'm going to go to my folder, go down to the class period folder, and find my .stl file. Do not give me the SketchUp file. Do not give me any other file other than the one that ends in .stl for your project. It's also a fairly small file, so when you open it and then you upload it, this should go relatively quickly. If it takes a long time, you're probably sending me the .skp file, which is the SketchUp file. Once you've filled out the whole form, hit submit, and your model is now in line to be printed.